some fighters complain way too much. Conversely, some fighters don't complain enough. Today we're here to talk about the latter. And the person that inspired me to make this video is Gamrot. Because I feel like he's negatively effective. He hinders his own progress in the fight game and in his division by just keeping his mouth closed and getting on with things. Like he gets him to a certain place, but I do think it would get him further if he would make a little more noise, if he would yap a little more. For example, after he defeated Arman Tsarukyan, I think it would have benefited him if he made a little speech and like called out Islam and said, "Hey, the person you had the toughest fight of your life with, I just beat him, and this is a 10 times better version of him. You didn't improve that much. So imagine what I'm going to do to you." Or something like that. Yeah, Gamrot is just way too silent, man. And also when he fought, or when he was the backup fighter for Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira got injured and Gamrot was supposed to be the backup fighter because he was training, he was in camp, he officially signed the contract and he was the official backup fighter. And his six-pack was there. He was fully ready and everything. But when Charles Oliveira pulled out, they didn't call him to fight. They called Volkanovski. He was off the couch. How are you going to call off someone who's off the couch when Gamrot is already there training? Gamrot could have said, "Yo." After that happened, Gamrot could have made some noise and complained to the UFC and just complained to the public and said, "Yo, I was ready to whoop his lamb's ass. I was gonna put a whipping on him, and you pull me out and bring in a featherweight off the couch to fight him. Yo, they were afraid that I was gonna become champion. What are you afraid of? You think I as a champion ain't gonna be popular? Look at this charming Polish face. You don't think this Polish face is gonna be popular with people?" So he could have said something like that, and Gamrot just keeping his head down and being quiet, I don't think it benefited him. And I think he might have got a title fight a lot sooner had he made some noise. So I think it's a mistake on Gamrot's part not to say anything. And the same could be said with some other fighters like Beneil Dariush. Like when he beat Gamrot, he could have said, "Hey, now I'm in my prime. I don't want to get any older because now is the perfect time for me to fight Makhachev. Book the fight, Dana. Me versus Makhachev. I just beat the guy who beat the guy. No, I just beat the guy who had a close fight with Islam. So I'm ready to put a weapon on him." So Dariush could have said something like this. And one of the things that I'm worried of is going to happen now that Belal Muhammad is champion. He became champion at a very old age, relatively, like around 36. So now other fighters are going to be like, "Oh, if he can do it, I can do it too. I'll just take my time." But I think Belal Muhammad is an exception, and most people are not going to be that good at that high of an age. So I am worried about more fighters like taking their time rather than being like adamant and ready to go. I think a lot of these fighters who were ready to get title fights but decided to keep quiet, I think that was a mistake on their part, and I think they should have made some more noise. Like and subscribe.